you really need to talk to the folks here at Next Level. I've got to tell you, just speaking to the people here, they are fired up, they get it, they've got the right balance, and they're all increasing their income, they're increasing their production.
But you're dealing with people that are in the trenches dealing with this, are practitioners, had failures, had successes, learned from it, and it's about helping you not just like get through the next month, but it's about creating legacy business for yourself.
But I can tell you that you are mission focused. I know you're purpose focused, and I can tell you that every loan officer that I've communicated with that's been part of your platform has been a raving fan.
This is the Next Level Loan Officers Podcast, a proud founding member of the Real Disrupt Podcast Collaborative. You can check out more awesome podcasts at realdisrupt.com. And now, Kenneth Travis and Sean Zalmanoff.
All right, welcome back to the Next Level Loan Officers Podcast. Thank you for joining us today. It's me solo here in the studio, Kellen Vaughn, a coach here at Next Level with you. And listen, if you're a loan officer and you're listening to this podcast and you're not part of our Next Level Loan Officers community, we would love to have you join us. You can check us out over at becomenl.com. Again, becomenl.com. We're working right now. We've got our mastermind and live events coming up in Scottsdale in the second weekend of September. So check us out. Hit up our website. You can see what we've got going on there. Join us if you want to hang out with some pretty cool loan officers in Scottsdale in September. And speaking of cool loan officers, man, we have an awesome show today. This one's a little unique, and I'm super excited about it because honestly, I want to hear about this myself. So I want to welcome to the studio my good friend, John, who comes from the great state of Texas, where I'm located as well. John, JP, what's up, my friend?
Hey, Kellen, great, man. Thanks for having me on. And like you said, if you're not involved with Next Level, you got to get involved as soon as possible. I know I was one who procrastinated for about a year and finally joined the group, and it's been phenomenal. So if you haven't seen what these guys are doing, you need to get involved as soon as possible. So yeah. Thanks for having me on, Kellen.
You bet. And listen, I appreciate that. And I remember you and I sitting out in front of one of our live events and chatting about you joining up. And I'll tell you, we're always the first to say that, this group is not about the coaches. It's really about the community. And John's a leader in our group. And man, it's an honor to have you in our community. I know there's a lot of loan officers that are listening to this who may be a part of Next Level, maybe not. But they're inspired by you and by what you're doing. So thank you for being a leader in our industry. We appreciate it.
You bet. It's an honor to be a part of you guys, and I look forward to future growth. So
yeah. Well, so let's get down to the exciting part, right? Dude, I've been so excited this morning. First of all, I haven't really connected with you recently because, as the listener probably doesn't know, you've been out of town for a month now. But what's really cool is, and you've been sharing this in our private Facebook page, your kind of adventures along the way. So what's really cool is you set out on a mission a year ago to be able to take some extended time out of the office. I know you had some family stuff coming up and maybe COVID pushed back some plans and you guys got it dialed in. And so you've spent a year preparing your team, preparing your referral partners for this, little adventure that you're on. And so, listen, if you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple Music, and you can't see us, I can only describe to you that John is sitting on a hotel balcony right now, and he just showed me this awesome view of the ocean that he's got. If you're watching us on YouTube, there it is right there. You can see this. So, John, give us a little bit of background about this trip that you're on and, what it meant to you and how's it going?
Yeah, so sure. So last year we weren't able to travel. And so we, during that summer, it's kind of upsetting. So we wanted to try to put some time together this coming year. And we had my brother's wedding. We had some in-between time. And we had about 6 weeks that we were trying to plan to get away and spend some time together as a family near the beach where we love. So, we had, it took a lot of time. It wasn't a lot of work. It just took time to prepare for this, but I hired a loan officer advisor assistant, a loan advisor assistant, and that was back in September. It was right before our Nashville event,
Yeah.
next level event.
Yeah.
And I remember talking to a few of you guys and asking you guys, okay, what is it that I can have this loan advisor assistant help going forward to be able to free up that time? And one of my coaches, Jeff Lagoni there, he said, man, have your emails taken away from you. And that right there was a huge, huge saver of time. That was probably the most critical component. And being, like most of us, a little bit of a control freak, that was the hardest thing to let go. And once I did, I was able then to really redefine my process, really dial in how I wanted everything to operate. And I hired a phenomenal loan advisor assistant. She is a unicorn. She does it all. So that was the first step of getting this thing dialed in.
Well, one of the things we always talk about at Next Level is just the implementation, right? Being willing to maybe get outside of your comfort zone a little bit,
right,
and do something that maybe seems foreign to you, and probably most of the loan officers listening. The idea of handing over their email seems like a foreign thing. Like there's a lot of them that probably are sweating just at the thought of that. And the reality is that you had a bigger purpose, right? There was a bigger why, and the why was, well, I want to be able to go on vacation, do this with my beautiful family, and enjoy that time. And here you are, fast forward a year, right? Here you are, sitting on the balcony in Hilton Head, enjoying the time. And I'm assuming you're not checking emails.
Well, I mean, do we check in from time to time? Yeah, I do check. But it's funny because I'll start reading an email and it'll just disappear from my inbox because my assistant just moves it along to the file that it needs to go to in the inbox. Right. But I very rarely do I check the emails at this point. But if there is something that I need to draw attention to, she'll flag it, send me a text message. Hey, I need you to take a look at this. And that's maybe 4 or 5 times a day at max, as far as looking at the emails that I need to look at.
So how long are you gone officially?
So we started our adventure on May 14th. We flew up to New Jersey, shipped our truck up here because rental cars are just ridiculously expensive. Yep. It was cheaper to ship my SUV up here and drive it all the way through. So we've been gone since May 14th. It's now June 16th, 15th. I'm losing track of days here. Yeah, but we're here till the 25th of June. So we're looking at a 45-day voyage and journey, and it's been absolutely phenomenal and beautiful to spend time with my wife, my daughter, boating, sailing, sunsets, lighthouses, beach. I mean, it was literally from pajamas to swimsuits, back to pajamas.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, I could probably get used to this a little bit more.
Right. Well, I can tell you this, and for those of you that don't know, John and I live probably a half a mile from each other here in Texas. And I can tell you, you're not missing the 90% humidity and 100.
I have heard.
Weather. Yeah.
Yep. So, and a ton of rain too, is what I've heard.
Oh yeah, we're getting it all. So you're in a better place. So tell us a little bit about maybe what prep went into your realtor partners ahead of this trip. Did any of them have any concerns, or what was that?
Well, I didn't actually mention it to anyone. I left it as being that my emails are monitored. What I did do is before I had left is I met with all my referral partners within 45 days of me leaving on my trip, and just touching base, breaking bread, hanging out, just talking about stuff, and met with some new agents that I wanted to target, that I was targeting, and just got in front of as many as I could. I tried at least minimum 3 a week. I had as high as 5 within a 45-day period. So nobody knew. There was only one agent that knew, and that one agent was because that we were in the middle of purchasing a new home at the same time while we were away. So we were under contract for a new home, and she was the only one that knew. And I never mentioned it once, but now people are starting to see because I am starting to post a little bit more on Facebook, some photos, and but everybody's just been real positive. You know, you really find out who are your real agents when they start to see that you are taking some time off and they are texting you and just messaging you. Man, I'm so glad that you are able to spend this time with your family. You're not going to have this time with. This is a great time to be spending with your wife and daughter. And still finding out referrals are coming in, applications are being submitted, contracts are being executed. And knowing that that support is there from them just makes me want to work even harder for them and just be there for whatever they need. And so just watching that happen has really been overwhelming. There's a humble part that comes in play that, you know what, these people not only support my family, but they love. I mean, it's a true relationship. It's a more of a mutual relationship, and it's really neat to see it happening. Yeah, it's a great friendship, and it's a lot, and we have a great time, and we laugh, and we all love what we do, and you do find out who your real referral partners are when this type of thing happens, and some get closer and some get a little more distant, and that's okay. And that's really okay, because there are plenty of business partners out there that would love to work with us as far as what we do. So
sure, absolutely. And it's like what we talk about at Next Level. We teach this in our live class. It's at the end of the day, what does the agent want, right? They want their client taken care of, and they want the file to close on time. And if you do a good job of explaining that to your agents, you say, listen, it doesn't matter whether it's me or whether it's my loan partner or my processor or whoever, your file's going to get handled. The client's going to be happy, and you're going to close on time. And that's what you want at the end of the day.
That's right.
So that's a powerful conversation. And I think to your point too, you've built up some really great relationships that have turned into friendships, and that's an even better way to build a wall around those agents and keep them close as referral partners. So the probably one question that is on everybody's mind is, okay, well, what's the downside, right? So I'm assuming that maybe there's been a hiccup, maybe there's been something that's happened along the way, or something you wish you had done. So give us kind of, if there's a con, what's the con? What's the hiccup or the road bump that you run into?
I think there was one instance that may have occurred it was a referral partner who was trying to purchase a home. It was not the cleanest deal. It wasn't the cleanest property. And we had kind of prolonged trying to get an appraisal out there, but it really wasn't appraisal worthy. I was just trying to help say, hey, I don't think this is going to work. I really don't. I don't want you spending this kind of money on an appraisal. But then again, she went and tried to find someone else and tried to do the loan, and it actually didn't work out. So, just trying to protect your integrity. You don't want to be pushing people in a direction that may not work. So, I think that communication part of that is probably where we kind of lacked a little bit. And, we addressed it, and it wasn't, I always take full blame of whatever happens, and going back to my teammates and letting them know, hey, you know what, I messed up on this one. I'll take responsibility for it. Don't we worry about it. Let's move forward, and let's start to capture some new referral business from other people. So that was really the only hiccup we had going throughout this process. So, honestly, I am very, very satisfied with the results of being where we're at today. There's really not a whole lot I would change, other than maybe that little piece of communication that we kind of maybe dropped the ball a little bit, but we were trying to be honest with the referral partner and her contract being executed. So it's okay. It happens. So
it sounds like that could have happened a lot, if you were in town as well. Sometimes those things just happen. Certainly doesn't sound like it was specifically a byproduct of being on the road or out of the office. So So this has worked out so well. So any thoughts of future trips and future, adventures? Are you going to do this every year? Maybe take 6 weeks and hit the road? What do you think?
Well, I don't know if 6 weeks maybe straight, maybe 3 weeks one time, 3 weeks another time. That might be something we were looking at. And what's really fun is planning your next summer's trip while you're on this summer's trip.
Right.
And that's something my wife and I have been looking at. Okay, where are we going to go next year?
Yeah.
And it's kind of neat. But 6 weeks is long, and it's okay. We can still manage from where we're at. But maybe 3 weeks, and then maybe another 3 weeks. But I am doing something for my loan advisor assistant. I'm allowing her to take 2.5 weeks off in July. So
Okay.
I will be back in the saddle there for a little while, and because I want her to enjoy the greater things too. So
Sure. Wow, that's great perspective. I think so often it's easy to forget the sacrifices that our teammates make for our benefit. And we talk a lot about in our group, taking care of the teammates and rewarding them with random bonuses and things like
right.
that, and cool incentives. Yep. Stuff that maybe they wouldn't do for themselves. But we have fun doing it for them, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be where we're at today.
That's it.
So there's definitely a lot to be grateful for and appreciate.
Well, listen, we appreciate you, and we appreciate you being on here. And if you're a loan officer and you're listening to this, and you're like, I haven't been on vacation in years, and burning the candle at both ends, and sometimes, you just feel like it never ends. Hit us up. Let us know. We're check us out over at becomenl.com, and join our mastermind. Like I said, it's the community of loan officers. Like John mentioned early on, they encouraged him to do some specific things, and we'd love to help you as well and put you on a 6-week adventure, just like John. So
I can show you how.
There you go. He'll map it out for you. Well, listen, I'm getting too envious sitting here in the Texas heat, watching you out there on the beach. So I'm going to let you run, my friend.
All right.
Thank you so much for taking a moment out of your vacation to join us, and we appreciate you. And for everybody else listening, thank you. And for everybody else listening, join us on the next Level Loan Officers podcast. We'll talk to you then. Thanks, John. See ya.
Thanks, Kellen. Bye.